folks, welcome back to Klein Friesland. So this is a map that Marnux map. It has converted from FS22 over to FS25. Complete rework of the map for FS25. It's a fictional map. If you played it in FS22, you'll be aware of that. Based on the north of the Netherlands, in the area that Marnux lives. There's 3 farms on the map, 3 main farms. So there is the main cow farm that I'm at here. There is another dairy farm, and there is an arable farm. There is also a contractor yard and a small farmyard which has a farmhouse and some sheds as well. We'll have a look at those as we go. And there's also a spot with some greenhouses which we will have a look at. There's a lovely BGA on the map, slightly biased, lots of productions built into the map, a couple of placeable areas, a sheep pasture. Cows and sheep are the only animals that are built into the map. If you want to put other animals on, you're going to have to place those yourself. There is modified animal feeding, so that if you feed the cows grass or if you let them graze, they will get 100% productivity and health, which is very cool. And last thing, if you want to get water from the map, you can get it from the canals and the 2 smaller ponds, but you can't get it from the ditches that are around the map, so we'll see that as we go round. There are also some required mods. I'll put that up on the screen now. The reason for required mods, and that they aren't built into the map, is that allows the mod makers to get credits for the downloads, and also if the mods are updated, say if there's an error with the mods, or if the modder just generally updates them for whatever reason, then you get the latest version of the mod, not a broken or out of date version. It'll get updated rather than it being built into the map. So let's get to having a look round, shall we? So we are on the starter farm. I have started in new farmer mode, and you start off with a pretty complete setup from a dairy farming point of view. So you start with a farm with cows on it, and I love this setup. It's so good. So the cows walk through from the cow shed down through this path here, and yeah, we've got a nice big cow shed here. We've got a bale and pallet store here. This is a bit of a change to the yard from last time. Manure store, and we've got a manure spreader straight from the get-go. A couple of silage pits and a leveler and compactor there. There is a feed wagon and a lovely Deutz tractor in there to get you going as well. You start off with a really nice combine, a front loader, decent trailer, plow, and everything else you need to get yourself going, really. So decent Massey Ferguson tractor, planter, spreader, seeder, cultivator, all the grass working equipment you need. So yeah, you're in a pretty good place if you do start with new farmer. A couple of weights, slurry tanker, and a good selection of fields. So you start with the farm, 3 grass pastures of decent sizes, a nice big field full of wheat, which we'll be visiting later on. Another field here. So far, every time I've started, these fields have had the same crops in them. So this one, I'm pretty sure, has always had the same crop in it anyway. And then we have a slurry basin up here as well for storing your slurry. I also forgot to mention that the map is prepared for precision farming. It has its own custom soil map. So you've also got a house and sleep trigger built into the starter farm, and this really cool spot on the map that I really like. A just really nice detailed little garden with the spot for your boat to go touring the canals. And then as we come out of the farm, you've got your 3 fields across the road that you own. And then right next door, we've got the dealership with a nice big area for delivery of vehicles. So really good for if you're not starting with the starter kit or you need to buy kit, it's nice and close by. Got the animal dealer next door as well. And the warehouse just there for buying pallets of stuff if you need to. And I believe also just around here is the sell point for the grain dryer pack. Grain dryer pack is a required mod because the grain dryer is built into one of the farms. And then we also have Marnux has brought across from FS22 the forage dealer mod. This was a mod of mine that he's converted. I did give him permission if he wants to release this. I don't know if he will or not. But yep, so got that sell point as well. So yeah, here we have forage dealer sell point and grain dryer sell point on the end of the building there. And then we've got the smaller or small contracting yard there. You're going to make lots of friends if you're bringing all of your farming kit through the really nice little town here. Just really like the way the area is set up. We've got the centerpiece church there, which looks awesome. And I guess one of the ponds there, which we can take water from, or the main canal to the side. And our slurry basin just here. And then as we progress down, speed up a little bit, we've got some of the productions down here. There's dairy and some sell points. And the gas station, and then the sheep pen is just over here. So nice big sheep pen if you want to start getting into raising sheep. And then we have over here the other cow farm. Slightly smaller, I think, maybe similar size. So again, you've got a couple of sheds, manure pit, bale and pallet store, and I really like that there's some animals in there to give the map a little bit of life. And then up in the top corner we have the BGA with a rather fine little BGA there, a couple of silage clamps and a lime crusher. So, and if you want to buy that, it's £140,000, so not too bad. Then as we explore the map, we've got some nice fields, all the drainage ditches. We've got the windmill here. This is a production point, another mod that you need to download. Got another sell point there. Little plot here with some greenhouses on you can buy, and I love the little attention to detail, the little boat in the pond. And then as we progress down here, we have the arable yard, and built into the arable yard is a large grain drying shed from the grain drying pack. Obviously, if you're going to be doing a lot of arable farming, then you probably are going to be interested in drying your grain to maximize your profitability. This is a nice spot if you're going to do some arable farming, because you've got the yard and then 7 fields instantly accessible off of it. And I think this is a good spot to highlight that this is a slightly smaller map. It doesn't make full use of the standard plot of land. But I quite like that. I quite like smaller maps. So it is also one, while we're up here, where you're going to want to learn the road layout, where the bridges and the crossing points are, so that you can get around the map, because tractors are not amphibious. And yep, that is something that you are going to need to be aware of, which is partly why I'm using the flying option. So you have got some kind of really nice back roads and things so that you can, if you need to, get around the map. get between your fields and things. So, and these do link up to the main roads with bridges and things. So yeah, if you've got the other cow farm, you've got quite a nice access to a whole load of fields again. And this is quite nice because obviously you don't have to go onto the roads to do your farming. You know, you can come straight out of the farm and you are into the fields. Not sure if you get the, looks like you do maybe get the windmill with the farm there, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's a very, very nice map. Has been sent to ModHub. I'm not sure what the wait list is with ModHub. I will say that when I submitted the update to the mini BGA, the wait was quite long. So yeah, bear that in mind. There is a new feature that's been added to the map. There's a couple of new features actually. So the first one we should have a look at is barley and wheat have a new custom crop calendar. So looking at barley, you can plant barley in March or September to October and harvest it in the summer. And with wheat, the same thing. So custom crop calendar in there, which is kind of cool. And then we need to turn off flight mode and we're going to jump in the combine. Head to our wheat field. So this is a new feature that Marnux has added, which I have yet to test. So hopefully this goes okay. We're starting very well. So region appropriate number plates, which I know some of you will appreciate about as much as you appreciate my amazing driving skills. Have this much problem previously getting the combine out of the shed. There we go. We are free. Been a long day. It's been a long day, folks. Let's head to the wheat field. So yeah, I really love the attention to detail that Marnux puts into his mapping. This is his second map for FS 25, but obviously is a revamp of his first ever map. This was his first map for FS 22. That open, excuse my mobile phone buzzing away at me. Let's just turn that off. Nothing like a professional, hey? Yep. Let's see if we can do a better job of getting in the field, and we might end up destroying some crop, but it doesn't matter. The other thing I should have mentioned, along with all the farm equipment, you do also start with the Skoda car that is up at the restaurant when you start. So kind of cool. But yeah, we're just going to drive into the, we're not going to drive into the field because the game really doesn't want to let me. My driving skills are thoroughly letting me down at the moment. So anyway, let's see if make this work. We're here for good driving. You're in the wrong place. Combine on, lower the header down. Here we go. The straw swath on. Pretty sure that is showing up, but we will jump out of the combine in a moment and I will give you a little bit of a sneak peek. You can see that built into the map is stubble destruction. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if other maps have this built in, but yeah, I think it's a nice addition to the map. A little bit of extra functionality there. I'm just loading up my messages to do a quick check. Yeah, so all of the grain crops, including maize and sunflowers, will have stubble destruction when you harvest them, or when you drive in them post-harvesting. So yeah, that is Klein Friesland by Marnux Mapping. As it has been submitted to ModHub, no idea on when it will be released. I would expect it will be released on all platforms. I believe that is the intent. But it has only just been submitted, so it could be a little while. Please be patient. Every time you ask, a little piece of our soul dies. Not really. And no, it doesn't mean it takes longer. It just is annoying. So yeah, if you enjoyed it and you have questions about the map, stick them below, because I'm sure Marnux will be watching. If you want to, feel free to share the video so others can see it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.